Okay, I don't know what I did. I was doing a video, but I wasn't recording it. So basically, it's October 14th of 2025, 9 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to walk you through my kitchen, my storage area, my porch, and my laundry room. Okay? So, remember I said I needed to do 2 more jars? I found this in my room, which is Knorr, right? And I took it out of the container because it's not a metal can. It wouldn't matter even if it was, because we already did that, right? With the other there. And so anyway, I'm doing this. And I'm still shy of 1 jar. So as I go through my day throughout the week, before I do an order, right, I'll see if I can fill up that jar, and then I'm not going to worry about that order. Maybe I'll order it, maybe I won't. Either or, in terms of those other spices with the faux broth, and just that other vegetable broth that is slightly different than what I already got. Isn't that beautiful? That is such a beautiful, beautiful enamel cast iron skillet. Okay. This is the lamb bones. So I'm going to leave that till this afternoon. The social workers were complaining about my counters having shit on them. Well, it is what it is, because that's Amari. I use that for Amari. We use that for Amari. There's things in there that we use, right? Obviously, right? You can see what's going on there. And then, of course, here, a lot of this stuff, the amaranth, and then those smaller jars with the ground powders that I made are further to the back. You know, here's rice pudding and yogurt that was dehydrated that I can put a tablespoon or 2 at a time, depending on what I'm doing for Amari's food. There's some spices anyway, because as I'm doing other things, filling up buckets, going through bags, sorting out this, you know, I put, because there's no counter space, right? There's nowhere to put anything. So I put, like, you know, this kind of stuff. Where is it? Where's that bowl? This kind of stuff. I put this kind of stuff. You can see this kind of stuff. It's just right as I'm sorting out, because everything is going into their own containers. And look, there's about two. There's another bag of oranges. But okay, so it's there. That's a problem, I'm sure. So anyway, I cleaned it up, and versus it having all that stuff just, you know, whatever, because once I took it off, that's what remains. All right, so they can complain about that. And of course, if they came in right now, they would complain about this. But I'm in the middle of what I'm doing, right? And I got to keep doing. You see, that's the thing. Here, I have to do the, I might as well bring this here now. I have to bring the, wax paper, and put wax paper underneath these lids, just because of the salt. And then I have to take these jars, and I'm not ready to use them yet. I wanted the box as I'm putting these jars away. So I put these jars that are not amber into the box. These jars came in. So when I put them in my room, they're going to be in the dark. And because they were sitting like encased between foam, they're sitting in, yeah, so it's great. Now I have to decide what I want to use these ones for. I have a choice. Maybe this is a good time to do all that cheese that's in Auntie Shemay's fridge. Dehydrate it, shred it, and put them in these. Leave 4 out to try and grow herbs with clay pebbles. That chicken spice is scratching my throat. So let's look at the stuff that they want me to clean off my counter in terms of what? Get rid of the garbage? Is that it? just miscellaneous stuff. Those raisins in there. There's sockeye salmon and pineapple and sockeye salmon, right? Shrimp. I want to have a shrimp set. We use this. I use that for amari when I'm cooking. This is the exact stuff that I'm working with right now. Okay. There, I just brought out a can of sockeye salmon for amari and some shrimp for shrimp salad, whatever. Andre's been not feeling very well with cold, whatever. I actually need some of this because I don't feel... This I'm using because I'm using different labels that I have to put around with extra scotch tape so the label doesn't come off. Andre likes his Mr. Noodle. Okay, so whatever. Right? Put it in the file that I don't clean. Okay. So I need to clean up. Yeah, okay. So I guess I have to get rid of all that, right? Because it's a problem for these people. I'm just saying. And of course, that's probably a problem too. And then, of course, that will be gone, but, you know, there will be something else there. And then, of course, we've got the stove. Everything in here, now that I remove those little bits of this and bits of that, as I'm sorting out buckets, and you know what I've been doing in terms of beans with beans and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Well, now that it's all been cleared out, this is what I'm going to be mainly cooking with once I'm not having to do this kind of stuff. Right? Because I'm at the tail end of it. That's why I'm doing the seasonings and stuff. Right? There's not much I need to buy. And they want me to get rid of it one way or another. Like, whatever. Or just not have access to it. I don't know. As they're insulting me. You know? Making it sound like I don't do shit. You need to clean. No. I clean every day. Something. I need to move. That's what I need. The heat's on. I have to turn down the heat. It's very fine. It's actually meant for an air fryer or at the bottom of a thing. Okay, a rack. Hold on. Okay, let's go this way. Okay, this is for recycle. It's right there for now because I'm still filling it up. And because I did a small order yesterday, this is what's in this order. Look, the box is here. Right? It's a problem, right? You know what I'm saying? Okay, so that's a, I don't know, some sort of, supposed to be a purple yam or some purple sweet potato or something. I like these dish soaps every now and then. Dawn. They were $2 a container, right? So I bought 4. They had Spam still at $3.50 a can. And because we're going to be doing those pizza pockets and all yada-dee-yah, I bought the extra 4 just because it's $3.50 a can. And then oysters, $2 a box, and you're only limited to 4. So I bought 4 of those. I haven't had a chance to put this away yet. But if those social workers came, it'd be a problem right now. As well as this bag of onions. Yeah. I'm actually thinking to go give some next door to James, so I don't have it sitting there because it freaks me out. Andre's been feeding the cat wet food. Amari's drinks came in. I can't take them downstairs right now. There's nowhere else to put them. And then I've got, this is recycle, and in there, where it's nice and cool, is a bunch of potatoes. Don't call me dirty because I'm a responsible person who recycles this crap as I do what I do. Andre has to take this all out to the recycle. This is all those little containers from that seasoning stuff. Right? You know what I'm saying? Box from Canadian Superstore. And then, you know, because you can't get into this room right now, even though I'm telling them I'm going to turn it into a boutique with fabric and clothes. Vintage clothing. Yeah, basically. And fabric and miscellaneous items. As well as whatever play school stuff is in there. And start selling off some of that, like homeschool stuff. So all this is the videos that keep getting kicked out of the basement. Right? I've washed them like 2 times already. And had to have them all out in here and dry out because they were getting mildew for being pushed out into the garage and into the shed. So this is like the 4th time now. So these I'm going to take out. I'm going to put them in the living room after I start taking out the homeschool books off the shelf that's behind the drums. And I'm going to take those books, sort them into categories, and put them into these boxes. And then that's what we're going to start building on to sell. right? Obviously this is paperwork. This here is probably, this is paperwork. I just haven't gotten into it yet. Probably non-profit paperwork, right? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I don't know, paperwork. Yeah, that's paperwork. And then because I bought an air fryer, which is sitting on another counter, waiting to be used, but I haven't used it yet. I got everything that you need for the air fryer, as well as we can experiment with the convection oven. So that's there. And because, Rhea did with her smash and grab, it was in my room, stealing and doing whatever, plus I've been moving out crap. This box, Rhea got into and she stole. And if you notice what I've done here when I brought it out, because there was just a few things left inside of it, I put a whole bunch of shit on top of it so that nobody else can come and steal, just in case, because you don't know, right? This is just, right? This is stuff that I'm taking out of my room. It's SOS. I can't put SOS pads. That's a full box of SOS pads. I can't put them downstairs. They'll disappear, or they'll end up out in the fucking garage, or I just won't be allowed to go get them because it's so uncomfortable to go downstairs and get anything and do anything. All right, I'm just saying. This is, in this little box, is toothbrushes, a whole bunch of toothbrushes, toothpastes, and a whole 9 yards, right? I'm not sure what's there, but I'm just saying. They don't like that, right? Because, and then down there is a cheese making kit, like a box, right? Like a cardboard box like this is for cheese making and that kind of stuff. And then I'm thinking the other box is for my sausage making with my nitrates and everything, right? And then I've got another box here down there with the ham stuff. But I need to take that box and put it into a bigger box because I bought an extra ham maker, right? The metal one. And some, as a matter of fact, I better find it before I lose it. Netting to put around ham, right? Because they got me in panic mode here. So where is it? It's a bag, and what it is this string that if you want to make a ham and you want to encase it into a string, into a bag that's made out of string. That's what it's meant for. And of course I can't find it now. No. Because it was here and it was here. And then I moved it. I was going to try and put it in the box. And because I don't see very well, it's going to take me a while to freaking find it. So yeah, their idea of cleaning is get rid of everything. Yeah. Leave you with practically nothing except maybe a fractured personality through trauma and stress. And then they'll come back in at a later date and start the process all over again over something else. That's why I'm showing you these things. Okay? So last time we were at that meeting, and she brought up the subject of cleaning, and I'm like, yeah, right. Putting food out in the garage is clean, or putting food out in a leaky, rotten porch is real cleaning. Okay. Yeah. That's cleaning. That stuff is still sitting out there because I got to do the inside first, and even then, I'm not going to meet their expectations. Clearly, you can see that. I have potatoes by the door. I have onions by the door. I'm sure I'll get rid of that box with that freaking Spam in it. That will be done by tomorrow. Or so. It has to be done by tomorrow. Whatever's going on here, for the most part, will be done because I'm working really hard and fast as I can possibly go. Right? You know what I'm saying? And I suppose the rest, I don't know. We'll just cross that bridge when we get to it. Because when you do stuff like this, it's time consuming, right? And it takes energy. So if you're gonna do it, obviously try and do it as best as you can. Right? So there's no backtracking. Oh yes, I wanted to show you what I gotta backtrack on. Right? just like I backtracked on these containers with this seasoning, I actually had them put away in my room, and Rio was on my bunk bed going from spot to spot, digging into my boxes, stole, full boxes full of sockeye salmon, full boxes of frickin' ham, full boxes, I'm sure, of corned beef, full boxes of whatever she thought she could find. And she found a lot. And she also stole some of those things because if you noticed, all I had was mostly beef. But I've taken care of this problem in terms of, it's easy. Just take one of these, put it in there, put it down on the thing, try and center it as best as you can. Take your fingernail, so just rub it into the edge. Right, make sure your rim is clean, flip on your lid. There you go. Just don't forget to label your jars. Okay, so don't forget to label my jars. So I have to do this, get these ready to go, and then I have to find time between now and tomorrow, I guess, and get them in my room, where right now they're just stacking up on, I should show you that, where they're stacking up on the floor, because I'm not going into my room just yet. Right? What are you doing? I gotta go see. Also, another thing, if you notice this was good for Uncle John, and it's good for me. I like it. It helps me to steady myself versus having wide open space with nothing. Okay, Uncle John used to walk and put his hand on it. I do it sometimes too, right? But yeah, do you see how the jars are starting to pile up on the floor here? I managed to empty out this bucket. This is tapioca starch that needs to technically go downstairs, but because I don't feel like it would be safe down there at this point in life, I don't take it down. I haven't taken it down. I don't necessarily want to put it in my room because I don't have any room left in there. So right now I'm just thinking about it, right? So I'm leaving it there. And then if we got the ham making box, and yada yada. So I mean, I do plan on making deli meat again soon. I like it. Obviously, non-profit. I thought I was trying to buy ginger ale, but they ended up giving me carbonated water, which tastes terrible. It's zero carbonated water. You see? Andre said it's terrible. But I guess we can try and make our own ginger ale. But I don't have any place for this, because the kids were sick, so I had to buy several times until I finally got ginger ale. So right now they're sitting there. I had cat food in a box, but I don't know what happened to it. Oh, that's cat food right there. And then more of that pop. Yeah. I like this. Okay. Yeah, this is a problem. It's always going to be a problem. It's been a problem ever since I moved in. It hasn't changed. The only thing is I learned to adapt and work around it. I produced a lot of food in this house, to which something people don't acknowledge. They want it? I don't know. I don't know what they want. Outside of, they just want the power and the control and the option to sell it or get rid of it or give it to their friends, brownie points, who knows. Yeah. Okay, so doing this is pretty simple. So after I label these jars, which I gotta do right now because that's the whole purpose of today, plus I want to cook. We got that broth from that, I'm tired, from that brisket, and there's enough pieces there to make a meal for Andre, me, and Amari, so I'm going to make gravy with the broth, and they're going to fry potatoes in some bacon grease lengthwise with the gravy mix, and then, I don't know, open a can of peas, corn, whatever, doesn't matter, and have some comfort food. Yeah, doesn't feel like crap. Yeah. And then tomorrow, obviously, no regrets. Okay, just, right? It will be worth it when it's done. And then so now everything will change. The jars will be canned, but by the time these people come, I probably won't have even had a chance to wash them yet. And there's going to be a fair amount of them, right? Not a lot, but enough. And these jars will be gone. These will be gone, right? Hopefully they'll be out of the haul. Whatever. I mean, I can only do so much in a day, people, and I shouldn't have to be having panic attacks around this crap, but I am. So you put the jars here, they cool, and then I have to move them over here to wash them, and then I put them back here, and then you air dry them, and then you put the labels on them, and then of course you have to find a spot for them, and at this point I really don't have a spot, but there's something that I want to do in the playroom, because I bought a shelf that's now outside, brand new shelf in a box that's outside, right? I wasn't sure if I was going to put it downstairs or in the playroom next to the deep freeze, because what's by the deep freeze is just kids stuff. It's all kids, it's homeschool stuff, right? I offered to Tisha, but she doesn't want to take, because she lives in a small 2-bedroom apartment and her kids have already got lots of crap. But you know, she wants craft stuff from me, so I told her, come with a big Rubbermaid bin. We'll get into that room. You can go into the bins. I have painting easels, all kinds of stuff in there for kids. Fill up your bin, and when you're done, you know, use whatever, come back and grab some more. I'd rather do that than sell it, where my son just wants me to get rid of it, because that's what he's been doing, people. That's why some of that stuff is up here when it actually belongs downstairs. Alright. But beside the freezer, after I took out all that kid stuff, I was going to put that metal shelf in there. And because it's right next to the freezer for the most part, it would have been perfect for jars. But again, that takes time. It takes time, right? I don't have that time for that right now, because that's not what I'm working on. Okay? That is not what I'm working on. No. Where now my son just wants to go in there and start ripping everything apart like he did in the yard. Yeah. Because the social workers are egging him on, just like the city of Surrey and my landlord egged him on. And I'll just leave. And I'll file something in court. I don't know what I'll file. Probably file a few things. Yeah. And I'll just, yeah. But in the meantime, I'm living in the here and now, and this is the here and now. But, you know, I'm using a dirty label to put on these beautiful jars. Oh, this is the faux, right? I'm pretty sure it's the faux. Yeah. It was darker. Faux was darker. I'm just going to put faux broth. I'll probably at some point, well, maybe the next show. I still kind of want 2 jars versus 1. So I will still do the 3 and 3 of this particular brand. I already have the miscellaneous in a box. I'll still buy 3 more. To me, that's my mental therapy. I'm not doing anything wrong. I am not doing anything wrong. Okay? And because I can't see, look, Do you see what happens? Because the left eye is dead. Everything's on the, do you see that? It's not centered. Even with a big ass label like that with color, I couldn't still center it. Well, I could if I really focused on it, but clearly my brain is working fast and on overtime. But because these labels are crappy, I don't like them, I have to bring out my Scotch tape, which is on my counter, which is going to get me into trouble if I don't put it away before these people show up. Because somehow having Scotch tape on your counter makes you look dirty. Yeah, and you're not keeping things clean. Yeah. That's pretty much what it boils down to. So they're punishing me for an environment that I can't change outside of removing everything from it and basically having very little of anything in order to make something look clean. Yeah. Okay, so this one was the vegetable one, right? Yeah. But this one was the chicken. Yeah. Okay. I should double check it, right? Okay, focus. Try and get it in the middle. Good luck. Well, that one's not so bad. Okay. Not even bothering putting down the brands. In 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, some of those companies, they won't even be around. So who cares? I'm pretty sure that's the vegetable one. I have to make sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's good. I like it. Yeah, this one's chicken. You can kind of see the yellow in it. This one's definitely chicken. Alright. We're good to go. So yeah, I have to use tape just to secure it on. Right? Yeah. Where's the vegetable one? What happened to it? Oh my lord. How the heck? Oh, here it is. So that one looks like I did okay. Right? And if you notice, I'm writing everything bigger. Yeah. My labels tell the story. Yeah. There we go. Now I got one more to go when it comes to this kind of stuff, but we already know I've made the decision to do a double batch with the vegetable stock that I just bought here. I really should put the brand name on it. Maybe I'll do that. I mean, it's not that hard to put Core, Knorr, or whatever, right? But this is a different brand. Where's that box? Where's that box? Oh God. Where's that box? God, where did that shit go? I'm hot. I know there was some left over. Oh, here they are. This brand. Thought I had my glasses on. This brand. What's the brand? Now, if you wanted to, because this is plastic, honestly, that's plastic. You could cut all of this off and tape that onto your jar. You could. Oh my God, come on. Come on. Let's see if we can get this off. I have a utility knife over there, so I might have to use the utility knife. kind of peels off. But I'm not peeling off the right way. No. Probably soak it off. There we go. Maybe? No. Not working. Whatever. Like I said, 5 years from now, company might not even be around anymore. You know how it is. Bigger companies don't like competition. Take out their competitors. Yeah. Anyway. Okay, so, yeah. I put Knorr. So you kind of know the brand. Right? And then this one I put, it's called Lonnie or something. I just kind of put it like that. I've never heard of that brand. It's not so bad. These, after you take off the plastics, are actually quite nice for crafts or whatever you want them for. I'm just saying. You could put buttons in them and stuff, right? And then, of course, you can see what I did there just for the faux. Because let's just say the company goes out of business and you wanted to know what the ingredients were in it to make a mock faux soup base. Just like I was talking about with the wonton, with the slivered shrimp and that type of thing. Because you can't get, what is that, codfish powder, right? But you can get shrimp. So we're just going to write on Lonnie here so we know the brand. Okay. There we go. Good enough for me. So I'm one jar shy of that box because I have 6 to a box. Right? So now I have to take these and put them with the rest of the jars down the hall. Okay, so I got a jewelry box down the hall with a bunch of shit on top of it. So nobody can, you know, they'd have to struggle to open it up and grab something and do a smash and grab, right? Because I'm turning my room into a pantry, we know that. Making plans to move so that when I do move and I get a bedroom, my room will basically be a pantry. So I don't need jewelry boxes and those kind of things in my bedroom because I wouldn't be using it for any other purpose other than to bring my food with me when I move as much as I can, right? So in the meantime, it's sitting there in the hall and I'm like, okay, well, you know, you can maybe give it to Tisha, but it's a hit and miss there. And, you know, even if you gave her whatever you give her, it doesn't matter. It always goes back to that crap. So, you know, I don't know what to do with it. I don't know if I should sell it, right? You know, and Leia May's too young. Marina wouldn't give a rat's ass about it. You know, she doesn't want it. She doesn't want it. She doesn't want the memory of me. She wants to remove me as if I never existed, because that's just, you know, actions speak louder than words. And that's her actions, pretty much, in terms of where she stands. I don't know. Okay, I'm not going to pick on Marina. And then, you know, the SOS, well, obviously I'm going to need, because I have underneath my sink, but they're running out. I'll probably go through a box just cleaning the oven. So I leave that there because I don't want to have to buy again, because I already bought. And I know if I take it downstairs, it will get raided, because that's what's been happening with my stuff down there. Right? Especially my soaps and shit. I had to bring up whatever I could salvage back up. So that took up more space, because it used to be downstairs in boxes, but I was getting down there and opening up boxes with things missing, empty, just whatever, like, okay. Oh. The air fryer, once I'm done all this miscellaneous crap, well, we have enough room here on the counter to bring out the air fryer, which is over there covered up in plastic to keep it nice and clean. Hold on a minute. And then, of course, we've got clothes drying everywhere. Those are Murray shorts. There's those socks, because I'm going through them all. Like I said, I got like 4 big bags. Winter's coming, so I said, Andre, you're going to have lots and lots of socks very, very soon. Right? They were all in the bedroom, bags and whatever. And I had to wash them all. So this is my second batch. I have another bag right here full of socks, and I got 2 more to go yet. So Tisha's going to get a whole bunch of socks. Whether they match up or not, it doesn't matter. Just when the kids are running around, I'll leave a few here for the kids when they come, because oftentimes they come without socks, right? Or they come with socks, or then they lose their socks. But look at this. Do you see this? Do you see what's going on here? Okay, diapers. And this is a little chair I want to keep handy for Murray. I like it sometimes to have him sit on it when I'm feeding him, right? And yeah, you see, I have to hang these up over everything. This one is, pretty sure this one's clean. That's another thing. Andre will take the whatever's on the couch, the blanket or the towel or whatever, and he'll throw it into something. Oh, and I have to find it. Always sticking my nose to it to see. Tell him, stop doing that. You take this stuff off, you put it in a plastic bag, and then put the plastic bag over there. You're right, so the social workers can see the plastic bag there and get mad. I'm just saying. So this is still wet, so I have to do this. Did you see? Did you see what I did? No, I guess you didn't. See? And then we're going to look at this. This is the backtracking. What's in there is bouillon cubes. Because when I was stocking up with the broth mixes and with the powders and stuff, I also bought some of these. And then Walmart ended up giving me a whole bunch of them. And it wasn't what I wanted. And I complained. And then they reimbursed me for them. So you can see what's going on here, right? And I have a few more of those, you know, in different containers. This one was meant to be put away long term. But what I found with these ones, these glasses are not very good. Okay, so we're going to do the chicken one here, right? What I found, it smells really good. What I found with these ones was some of them were moist. Now, mind you, if in the old days, if I'd buy 1 or 2, 3 packs, I'd put them in there, they'd sit forever, you know, and then they get hard, eh? So I'm used to them being kind of, oh my God, that fucking thing is heavy. I'm used to them being hard from sitting up in my cupboard, but when I got them, I mean, I didn't have time. I had to put things away, right? So obviously I put chicken with chicken, vegetable with okay, right? So now I can leave them like this, and they'll be fine because of the salt. Shouldn't be a problem, and I would think because it's not an airtight environment, either way, eventually they're going to get harder, which it seems like they have since I bought them. Because when I was using the few that I left out for myself, they were kind of moist and I didn't like it. And yeah, you see, it's gummy and it's moist. And the more I thought about it, in terms of long-term food storage, it would be, in my opinion. Now, if they were sitting in a box open in the cupboard and, you know, and 2 years go by and it's all hard and crumbly, like I'm used to having them, they'd still be fine because that's the way they're made, right? But to sit like this, 2 years, 5 years, kind of gummy like this, this doesn't sit very well with me, you know, in terms of, you know. So I pulled out the box after what Rhea did, right? And it's been sitting again in the hall in front of the bedroom because I haven't had time. I'm sorry. Not only do I have a little bit of a cold from the kids, but, you know, I got my histamine problem, right? Now I can't touch that now because of this, but, what do you call it? I'll just put that there for now. after Rhea did, and you know, I was already thinking about it. That's when I had to go in there and start rearranging my room and reorganizing. And that's another thing these social workers aren't factoring in. Like, I lost 7 months of my time in terms of liquidating. Just like I lost my time liquidating things when my son was throwing things out and I had to scramble and reorganize and whatever. And then, of course, there's the daily grind. You can see what's happening with the laundry here, right? Okay, and I got another load here because I just changed them this morning and had to take out the blanket that was laid down last night because he leaked out because Andre just put one diaper on him. That's all it takes. So, okay, because it's in the hall in front of the door, it's a problem. But now, you know, I've been kind of putting it off because I wanted to do, like, in terms of what I'm going to do is I'm going to open these up and we'll just use this one for an example. Okay, I'm going to open them up. Now I can do one of two things. I can put them on the dehydrator tray just like that with the paper and dehydrate them, which I don't think is a good idea because of the paper. It's a paper plus a little bit of tin foil, right? Or I can just simply open them up and just put them all onto the dehydrator tray by category. Vegetable with vegetable, beef with beef. I got enough trays. Dehydrate them down to a drier state. And I can either put them like that into a jar, squared, or I can take the time to bust them up and grind them up, which you'd get more in a jar versus in squares. But it takes a little longer to bust them up and grind them. Not much longer, but either or, it still takes time. And that's what I need to do. So you can see that box is quite full, right? Okay, so I don't know what's going on with the battery here. I don't know if there's any room on this camera or it's the battery, either or. I'm going to go plug this in probably, and actually, you know, I might even end this video, start fresh when we start with the lamb, right? Just put this in its own category. What do you call it? Do you see the box? Perfect. It fits perfect for what I did with those little bouillon cubes, but clearly I'm going to do something else with them now. Okay, you know what sucks? I don't finish this video. The other one's converting over right now. Alright, I'm still thinking about the hall and what's in it and how I feel like I have to justify keeping my belongings. I'm going to take the camera, go back down the hall and show you a fabric bag that inside of it has costumes that I need to wash before I put them into the playroom and hang them up on the rack. And then I have another fabric, well, it's not a bag, well, it's a fabric bag, right, to put clothes inside, right, that has leather jackets in it. Really nice, cute little bomber jackets, because, you know, and I've had them for years. And there's like 3 in there, I think. 3 different types of leather jackets. It's on my door frame. I don't know if Rhea got into that and stole one from that particular fabric bag, because it was where she was rooting around when she was gooning over all the jars that were in that one corner, and she took that box and took everything out, which was more than likely canned salmon or canned ham, so it was something canned anyway, and then put all that miscellaneous junk in there, Mod Podge, right, if you watch that video, and then she put it up against the wall to try and fill in the hole that she created when, okay, well, she was in that corner, so I don't know if she stole the jacket from that thing or not, but either or, I was going to like, okay, I'll show you those jackets. And then it dawned, because, you know, I've been thinking about how I can take pictures of this stuff so I can get them online. Like, how could I possibly do it where it's bright enough and yada yada. And then it dawned on me. I'm like, well, you know, you could take one of your dressmaking forms, put it in front of the fridge, and put a white backdrop on it, like a huge, I have like tablecloths, I'd have to find them, right? White tablecloths, I kind of know where they are, I'd have to dig for them because I moved them out of the bedroom too. because, you know, I used to do park events, so I'd put tablecloths on my, or if I do, you know, I have my DJ equipment, I have like banquet type clay tablecloths made with cotton. They're really nice. I mean, there is a way I could hang it up from the ceiling, and it has it have a backdrop with the dressmaking form there, as I'm, you know, putting clothes on them to take pictures to put online. But here's the problem. Back in the day when I was trying to give Marina those olive branches to try and, you know, establish a more healthier relationship with her, I asked her if she wanted a dressmaking form. And she said yes. And I said, okay, well, I got several. I'll give you this one. And that one had the legs on it. I didn't want to, really, honestly. I didn't, but... So I kept the one that I have the stand, but it's missing one part of the leg. So I'd have to make a part so that it can stand up, because there's one piece missing, because I gave her the one with the full set. And then she just turned around and sold it. She didn't keep it. Whatever. Now I'm wishing I had it back, because that would be perfect. I could do 2 of them. I got different dressmaking forms, but the ones that are in Tisha's room, I don't know, because, like I said, somebody's been in there and they move shit around again on me in there. Because where I'd seen one wasn't where I left it. Let's put it that way. So whether it has all its parts or not, its legs and stuff, I don't know. But yeah, so at least I figured that out. Now because I'm like, okay, the hall towards the front door is too dark. I'll have to bring up the spotlight, and, you know, and I hang them off the chain, and right? It'd be better to be at floor height with the backdrop, depending on the color of the outfit. Obviously, if it's a white outfit, when I did that little fashion thing with the Peep Fashion pictures and stuff, when I had hired the 2 dancers to model my costumes, I had a complete white backdrop. One of those tablecloths that I'd take to park events and stuff. And for the most part, it worked really good, except when I put up a white costume or a light costume up against it. You know, it didn't do, it should have been a darker backdrop. I learned something from that, and that was in 2007 when I took those pictures with those girls. And I hired those girls to model my clothes for me, and then because I was promoting the nonprofit and stuff, right? Clothing line, and I did a couple of little fashion shows in bars, nothing fancy, but I tried. Well, some of those costumes are still kicking around, and nobody has a right to take them away. I made them in 2005, so that's 20 years. They're vintage, and they're brand new. Lots of them have been stolen over the years. Oh yeah. The ones I've got on my mind, I'm hoping are in the closet, but I haven't had a chance to do that, to go in the closet yet. Which, in that closet, I have full-length jackets that go right down to the floor that are, like, nice, really nice. And I have, I think, probably a couple of fur jackets in there as well. Like, you can't ask me just to chuck that shit out. Like, no. No. I have a right to try and sell that stuff so I can move out and get a different place and start fresh. And being that nobody helps me, you can't, to sell it, that is, you can't hold that against me either. No, no way. No way. So I'm not gonna feel bad about giving Marina that dressmaking form. Although if it was available, it would be very easy just to get up on it. So I guess what I need to do is at some point just make, I don't know, I have a jigsaw. I have a jigsaw. I just have to get the right piece of wood in terms of thickness. Trace the foot, the one foot that's missing, cut it out with the jigsaw, and use that. And then I've got the one dressmaking form anyway that I like, because I gave her the nicer one out of the two that had all feet. If I knew she was going to sell it, I just would have sold it myself, right? Okay, so that's from the soup bones with the lamb. You know, the lamb bones for the soup. Good. Yeah, a lot of meat on them, I'm telling you. This is for Amari. You're going to get it 2 to 3 times a day. That's his first portion right there.